Hi guys, it's Mark Zickery, Mr. Sci-Fi, and I'm about to share with you one of the pieces of work that I'm most proud of. And over the next few days, we're going to share the extras, the commentaries, and other items from the 2-disc special Blu-ray set of this episode. Now, I'd always loved the character of Sulu, played by George Takei on Star Trek, but he never got the great Sulu episode he deserved. And when I learned around 2006 that there were a group of fans making their own Star Trek episodes in upstate New York, I contacted them. I offered myself as co-writer with my friend Michael Reeves and director and executive producer, and I helped assemble a production team and spent a year and a half essentially making this episode. 6 months building the team and then shooting it, and then a solid year of post-production. There were 700 visual effects shots. There were many challenges in post-production, but it is a terrific episode, and I'm very proud of it. It's called World Enough in Time, and I'm going to show you the entire episode, which essentially, in my mind, functioned as a pilot for the Captain Sulu Star Trek series that we never got. I actually pitched that show to CBS after making this episode. This episode was nominated for the Hugo and Nebula Awards, the first time a fan-made project was nominated for those awards. And we won the TV Guide Award, beating out Battlestar Galactica, interestingly enough. And it stars George Takei at the height of his powers and Christina Moses of A Million Little Things as his daughter. And we also were able to get Grace Lee Whitney in her final performance as Yeoman Rand, or First Officer Rand, on Sulu's ship, the Excelsior. And we also got Majel Roddenberry to record the computer voice. Again, the last time she ever did that, it was shortly before her death, and I actually went to Roddenberry's mansion to record that with her. Phenomenal experience, brilliant people working on it. James Cawley, of course, played Kirk and was the mad genius behind this whole enterprise. And but I got final cut contractually, so what you're seeing is very much what I wanted it to be. So co-written with Michael Reeves, the Emmy-winning story editor of Batman the Animated Series, the producer of Gargoyles, someone who brought me into television, was one of my closest friends, and he passed away last year, but I think this is a wonderful testament to what he could do and what I could do with his talents and with mine. And it led directly to Space Command. And so we're going to show you the entire episode today, and then over the next few days I'll share with you all of the extras that were on the 2-disc set. Many of them have never been seen publicly, and I'm really happy to be able to share this wonderful piece of work with you.
Excelsior, this is the shuttlecraft Sturgeon requesting docking coordinates.
Acknowledged, Sturgeon. You are cleared for docking.
Don't look so worried.
Say that one more time, and I swear I'll bust you back to Yeoman. What's on today's schedule?
I cleared it. We'll have all the time in the world.
Docking is complete, Excelsior.
Copy that, Sturgeon. Welcome aboard.
All the time in the world.
Tracking hydrogen, anti-hydrogen reaction signatures, Captain. There's no doubt they're venting antimatter.
Maximum resolution. Range, Mr. Sulu.
29 million kilometers, Captain.
They've drifted well within the Romulan neutral zone.
Another distress signal, Captain. They say they're losing life support fast.
Mr. Sulu, plot an intercept course. I want to send an out before anybody's the wiser.
Ever taken the Kobayashi Maru test?
Course plotted and laid in, Captain.
Full ahead.
Aye, sir.
Entering Romulan neutral zone. We are now in violation of treaty.
Then let's not let any grass.
Captain, warp field signatures approaching. Dropping to sublight.
On screen.
Romulan birds of prey, Imperator class.
detecting a buildup of hyperphasic energy, Captain. In a triangulated pattern.
All decks, red alert.
Space. The final frontier. These are the new voyages of the starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission: to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Spock, what the hell just happened?
The merchant vessel has been annihilated, Captain. There is nothing left. Its very atoms have been ripped apart.
Get us out of here, Sulu.
Yes, sir.
Captain, I'm getting encrypted ship-to-ship between the Romulan vessels.
Fortuitously, in a code they are unaware that we have previously broken. As I suspected, the merchant vessel was destroyed by a new weapon, most likely a prototype.
Captain, they've spotted us.
They're building energy again. We have only seconds before...
Chekhov, target those vessels and fire.
Targeting. Firing phasers.
Damage report.
Minimal, Captain. Mostly from shifts in our gravity field.
Analysis, Spock.
Shields are holding. We're safe for the moment, but trapped.
Trapped. How?
We appear to be caught in a hyperdimensional field. The field is producing gravity waves. Ripples in the space-time continuum.
This is a strange definition of safe, Mr. Spock. Lieutenant Uhura, send out a subspace message to the Romulan High Command. In their encrypted code, weapons test to failure. Our own ships destroyed. Core breach imminent.
Aye, sir.
We might at least dissuade them from trying it again anytime soon.
Most logical.
Thank you, Mr. Spock. You, Bones, and Scotty, in conference now. Mr. Sulu, you have the comm.
Isn't the Kobayashi Maru supposed to be a no-win scenario?
Let's hope not.
The field apparently creates a quantum disruption that negates the strong and weak forces binding atoms. Anything caught within it simply ceases to exist.
And this is going to happen to us?
At the moment, our shields are protecting us, but the power drain is considerable.
How much time?
No more than 20 hours. I cannot say for sure the way the levels keep changing.
And we can't use full warp power to escape.
Ineffective. Due to the field, we are in the grip of not 4, but considerably more dimensions. We would need accurate coordinates from all of them in order to effectively extricate ourselves.
And without the data on how the field was generated, that computer doesn't stand a chance of plotting a course out.
Is it possible the bird of prey has the data?
If the computer banks are still intact, but we can't access them from here.
And with the field fluctuating to hell and back, I wouldn't dare trust our transporters.
A shuttlecraft, then.
Wouldn't it be destroyed?
I believe we can extend the shields out far enough to protect it.
Mr. Sulu.
Aye, sir.
We're going to need some fancy piloting if we're going to get out of this mess, with a few extra-dimensional coordinates thrown in. Are you up for it?
When do I start?
Captain's log, stardate 6283.6. The Enterprise is caught like a fly in amber, in a tangle of multiple dimensions. Our only hope of survival lies in obtaining data from the remaining Romulan bird of prey that might help us chart a course back to normal space. I have detailed Lieutenant Sulu to pilot a shuttlecraft to the derelict ship, accompanied by an expert in Romulan computer science.
Sorry.
You know, we are kind of on the clock here.
I couldn't get into this dang thing. Lisa Chandra's computer science, xenocryptography.
Hikaru Sulu, helmsman.
I know. I saw you on the bridge when I came aboard and presented my orders to the captain. I got here like 3 days ago when you guys docked at Altair 4.
Well, you're certainly starting things off with a bang.
Keep them safe, Mr. Scott.
What was that?
Gravity wave.
One of the first things they ask you when you sign on for starship duty is if you're prone to space sickness. I lied.
We'll be back with the data before you know it.
Our shields don't fail, and if that bird of prey isn't torn to corks with us aboard it.
Now that about sums it up.
Well, that doesn't bother you, huh?
It certainly motivates me.
Sorry if I parked too far from the curb, Doctor.
You're a real cowboy, you are.
Careful. Gravity's unstable.
Computer's on a separate power grid, so I should be able to... Okay, we're online. Now, all we have to do is locate the specific data on the weapons system. Ah, here we are.
Of course.
This is making sense to you.
It's complex, but yes.
Good. I need to have gone to all this trouble for nothing. I mean, almost nothing.
Spock! Gravity waves, Captain. Increasing intensity. They could destabilize the Bird of Prey's reactor core.
Sulu, you and Chandris get out of there now.
Bird of Prey reactor core going critical.
Scotty, keep the shields extended around that ship and beam Sulu and Chandris back through them.
I'll give it my best, Captain.
Spock, Bones.
Gravity waves making it devilish hard to lock onto them. just blew. Massive subspace interference. I cannot hang on to them. Wait, there's a signal. One's caught in the pattern buffer. Looks to me, Sulu, but something's nae right. You're not getting away now, lad.
Stand down now, sir. You will stand down and see, I believe, that you know us.
Captain Kirk. Dr. McCoy.
Bones.
You're the same. How can you be the same?
DNA and vitals match Sulu's, but Jim, he's 30 years older.
Mr. Sulu, you've been gone less than a minute. The Romulan ship went critical and we tried to beam you both back.
Oh my God. She's all alone back there. You've got to get her. You've got to bring her here.
We lost Dr. Chandra's signal.
Not Lisa. Lisa's dead. She died 15 years ago.
Captain, I'm picking up another signal. Faint as a whisper.
Dr. Chandra's?
Doesn't match the signature. Something else?
Lock in on it!
I do a fair bit better if you stop shouting and flailing cutlasses about. Oh, you're a right will-o-wisp, you are. But you won't be getting away.
Alana, don't be afraid. Bring her back!
I've got her pattern in the matrix. She won't be getting away. But she's not exactly arriving here yet either. I'll have to rig up some sort of stasis chamber to keep her here. At least for starters.
You called her Alana. Who is she?
She's my daughter.
Status.
Shields at maximum, sir. We've diverted power from all but life support. We're holding our own, but we're not going anywhere.
Understood. Report, Commander. Sulu, just tell us what you know.
Lisa and I were aboard the bird of prey. It was about to explode when the transporter seized us. Instead of materializing on the Enterprise, we found ourselves on the surface of a planet.
Clearly one with some form of civilization, given your elaborate ornamentation.
A dead world, Mr. Spock. Disease had wiped them out centuries ago. Nothing but ruined cities, what remained of a canal system. Desert that stretched forever. There was wildlife, fruits. We were able to survive.
And in time, you and Chandra's...
There comes a point where one has to start living a life, whatever it is, rather than waiting for one to begin.
But what was 30 years to you was 30 seconds to us.
Fascinating. It would appear that the gravitational waves, interacting with the multidimensional field, diverted you and Dr. Chandris into a different, more rapid time stream. Perhaps a wholly different universe.
Mr. Sulu, this ship will be torn to subatomic particles in a matter of hours. We need that data that you and Dr. Chandris got off that ship.
The tricorder's back on Caliban. We had to name the planet something. It seemed to fit. It's from Shakespeare.
The Tempest. Sulu, do you remember anything from the Romulan data?
It's been so long. No. When the tricorder's power started to fail, I tried to hold the information in my mind. But after months, years, Lisa thought you had all died. But I said, you don't know James Kirk. He always manages to snatch life from the jaws of death. He'll find a way.
You're that way, Sulu. We need that data.
Captain.
Kirk here.
If you fine gentlemen could tear yourselves away from your pressing business, there's someone here I'd like you to meet.
Father!
It's all right, Alana.
Why is she still insubstantial?
Best I can do for now, Captain. A good part of her still linked to whatever godforsaken rock you were living on.
She appears to exist in a state of quantum indeterminacy. Partly here in our universe, partly still in the alternate universe.
That's impossible.
I suggest we make a data chip record of these events. Could prove invaluable to science.
Welcome to the Enterprise.
They came for us. Just like you said they would.
Captain, there are urgent matters we need to attend to.
I understand, Mr. Spock.
As soon as we're clear of this hyperspatial beastie, we should be able to divert enough power to bring it all the way through.
For now, unfortunately, your movements are limited to this chamber. We'll see if we can arrange some introductions later. Miss Sulu?
Alana, please. You're Captain Kirk, aren't you?
How did you know?
My father told me you were impressive. And knew it.
You'll have to excuse her, Captain.
There's no apologies necessary. Mr. Sulu, we'll need you in sickbay. I'll try not to keep him long. Pleasure meeting you. Bones, Spock, you're with me.
I'll be back soon.
People move so quickly here.
Aye, that they do, lass.
You're Montgomery Scott, aren't you? My father told me about you too.
And just what did he tell you?
That he wouldn't want to be your liver.
It's good to have him back. And to be meeting his fine fair daughter.
Although you no longer consciously retain the hyperspatial coordinates, your mind still retains the data.
So, the famous Vulcan mind meld.
I won't tell you this is without risk.
But then what in life is? Shouldn't you send me candy and flowers first?
I do not understand.
No, I didn't think you would.
My thoughts to your thoughts.
Sulu, relax. Don't fight.
My mind to your mind.
Yes.
Our minds are merging, becoming one.
Yes.
The Romulan ship. Dr. Chandras.
Alana. A child. 10 years old. What's sand moving?
Rising up.
Alana! Sand demon! Fangs! Spears!
It has her!
Too far! Too far! I can't!
Jim, the vitals are spiking.
Lisa! She's killing it. She's cutting into pieces. What is it stabbing? Stabbing her! Lisa! You saved her.
You saved our daughter. She hurt me. I know she hurt me.
Epinephrine levels off the scale. Blood pressure's through the roof. You have to stop it. Stop it now before we lose them both.
Spock, break it off. Spock! The data.
Too deep. It's clear we'll have to find another way.
How is he?
Resting. He'll need some time to recover. My God, Jim. What he's been through.
Laudable as your tendency toward compassion may be, Doctor, it does not alter the fact that the ship will be destroyed if we do not get that data soon.
How can that green blood of yours be so cold?
Dr. McCoy.
Bones. We need an alternative.
Well, there are drugs. Hypnotics. They might work. Normally, I'd advise against it.
These are not normal circumstances.
Do it.
They're not standard issue. It'll take me time to formulate them.
In the meantime, I want you to get on with Plan B.
I was unaware we had a Plan B.
I trust you will shortly.
Understood. Tell me, Captain, what did you do before you knew me?
I always made sure Plan A worked. While we're at it, maybe you can arrange for a shave and a haircut and rustle up a uniform for him. It's the least we can do.
I wouldn't. As far as he's concerned, his tour of duty ended 30 years ago. He's not the man he was.
I understand.
Captain Kirk, to the bridge.
Kirk here.
The gravitational disturbances are increasing faster than anticipated, Captain. We're running out of time.
Understood. Go to yellow alert. Kirk out. If we're gonna get out of this, I have a feeling we're going to need the man that he was.
Captain, I've been monitoring fluctuations in the hyperfield.
And?
There is the possibility that, were we able to generate a matter-antimatter negation burst of adequate force to free us, we might cause the field to implode.
And risk imploding the ship as well.
Our calculations must be most precise.
How much time do we have?
14 hours, 32 minutes, and 24...
Then I suggest you start exploring it aggressively.
Didn't even give you an ocean view. I'd complain to the management.
Oh, Father, it's wonderful.
You haven't seen much of it yet.
That doesn't matter. We're here. I just wish Mother could have seen it.
She would have given everything just for you to see it, Alana. This is only the beginning. Scotty will have you flesh and blood in no time. You'll see. And then, Centauri 3. The Vallis Marinaris on Mars. San Francisco. All the places I've told you about. We'll roll them out like a red carpet. You can go anywhere. Do anything. The whole universe is ahead of you.
Forgive the intrusion. Dr. McCoy is ready for you.
I'll be back soon. Captain, I expect you to behave yourself.
Your father always had a distinctive sense of humor.
Your reputation precedes you, Captain Kirk.
Call me Jim. And just what exactly did he tell you about me?
How alone you were.
He told you I was lonely? Well, that is the price of command.
It was more than that. It was something you carried with you. Get distance. Always a different girl in every world? None mattering beyond the moment? There was one who was different. Her name... Edith.
Some things are best forgotten. I don't talk about the past, and your father shouldn't have either.
I hurt you. I'm sorry. I'm not good with people. Lack of practice. It's just he thought he would never see any of you again.
Life seldom takes us where we want it to.
Jim, I understand loneliness. You shouldn't try to banish memories. They're how we live on. They're all I have of my mother. Did you know her?
She'd just come on the ship. I'd seen her once or twice.
You'd have liked her. She was funny. And brave.
I know. She died saving you.
She didn't hesitate. I could never be that strong.
Well, we never know what we can do until we have to.
Captain, if I may.
Excuse me.
Sensor scans of the external hyperfield have proven inadequate to risk a matter-antimatter implosion to free the ship.
What do you suggest?
The field surrounding Miss Sulu seems a benign microcosm of the larger field. If I might be allowed to take some measurements.
Mr. Spock would like to run some tests on you.
Will it hurt?
No.
I would have said yes anyway.
I'll see you later.
How do we start?
We already have.
One pharmaceutical cocktail coming up. I swear, at times like this, I feel like a bartender, not a doc. Sorry. I didn't mean to,
Oh, it's all right. The only image I had of her was...
I understand. Just lie back. You'll feel a bit lightheaded and drowsy.
Should I count back from 100?
Just say whatever comes to mind.
To be snatched away from everything you know. Drop down in a wilderness. Have to build your life up from nothing with your bare hands. Only one thing will let you do that and survive. Before all that, I was on the career track to captain. Friends were for off hours. Hobbies, mere diversion. Family, not in the equation. But then, through the long nights, we'd sit in the crystal towers, listen to the wind wash over the Dead Sea, gaze up at the twin moons, share stories we remembered, adventures we'd had. I may have been lost, but I was home.
It's a rare man that finds that. And a lucky one.
Can I ask you a question, Mr. Spock? I mean, if it doesn't distract you.
I'm not easily distracted, Miss Sulu. What would you like to know?
Beyond that door, there are hundreds of people. And so far, I've only met 6 in my whole life. 4 in the last 2 hours. My father told me that you were the only one of your kind on the ship. Do you ever wonder what people think about you? Or what they see?
They will see precisely what you are. A singularly astute and charming young woman.
But I'm so different.
We are each of us unique.
But you must admit, some of us are a lot more unique than others.
It is grammatically incorrect to place a modifier before unique. But nonetheless, you are correct. Some of us are.
You still haven't answered my question.
I endure the pressures my choice of life demands because I prefer it to one of solitude. And because I have found that I can tolerate being judged far better than being of no consequence. The scan is complete. I must get this data to Mr. Scott.
So, am I one of a kind, Mr. Spock?
You are indeed, Miss Sulu.
Kirk to sickbay. How we doing, Bones?
Jim, I've tried every neuromnemonic in ship stores on Sulu.
And?
Scattered bits and pieces. Nothing you can use. And I can't give him any more. His system can't take it. I'm sorry, Jim.
How goes Plan B, Mr. Spock?
The readings I took from Miss Sulu should allow us to attempt the negation burst. As soon as Mr. Scott concludes his adjustments, we can proceed.
Then I suggest you do so with all dispatch. What's wrong?
Jim, Alana Sulu's atomic structure is bound to the hyperfield. We can't be certain she'll be coming with us.
Scotty said he'd be able to bring her over in time.
Time is a luxury we do not have, Captain. And we may not have sufficient power for such an attempt.
Are you sure about this?
There are some variables in the readings. A stronger possibility is that she will remain with the ship. Still.
Thank you, Mr. Spock.
Should we inform Miss Sulu or her father?
No, not yet. But I expect you to do whatever you can to better her odds.
Of course.
For now, is there anything we can do to make her more comfortable? Are you still hanging around?
Don't you have anything better to do than make fun of easy targets?
Well, we had a few moments before the implosion attempt, and I thought I'd drop by and give you a surprise.
Surprise?
Mr. Scott had some bored technicians he needed to occupy. Would you care for a stroll?
What do you call this?
Tech 12. It's not very imaginative.
It's perfect. This.
What?
The best moment of my life.
Few people recognize it while it's happening.
All the better reason to notice it.
It's just the first of many.
It's a good look for you.
Uhura. It's been forever. My God.
What?
You're younger than my daughter.
Yeah, I heard about her. She sounds wonderful.
She takes after her mother.
Uhura to the bridge.
Acknowledged. We'll catch up later, okay?
Uhura. Don't let it all go by.
If you got your sea legs back, you're free to go.
Thank you, Doctor.
Those aren't really necessary.
I know.
Bridge. It's a turbo lift. It moves horizontally and vertically throughout the ship.
You command miracles and you don't even know it.
I'm starting to.
Alana! Alana!
We had nothing like this on Caliban.
The name your parents gave that planet. Do you know where it's from?
My mother was in a production of The Tempest when she was a girl. She knew it by heart.
The sorcerer and his beautiful daughter, marooned on an island until the ship arrives.
A brave vessel who had no doubt some noble creatures in her. We perform it over and over.
With Sulu as Prospero. And you as Miranda?
I preferred Ariel, who could fly.
And where would you like to go, Ariel?
Where would you take me, Jim?
Yes.
We're ready to initiate the implosion, Captain.
I'll be there momentarily. Kirk out.
Another miracle required?
I'm afraid you'll have to return to the stasis room for safety. This device will beam you there.
Oh.
You'll see the bridge soon. I promise.
I'll hold you to that.
Where were you?
Jim arranged a tour.
Jim?
Are you jealous, Father?
Status, Mr. Spock.
Ready when you are, Captain.
This might be one of those rare times when we actually get out of a tight spot with some breathing room.
All decks. This is the captain speaking. We're about to emit a plasma-antiplasma burst in an attempt to free the ship. Brace yourselves. At your discretion, Mr. DeSalle.
Aye, sir. Detonation in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alana!
Unknown, Captain.
Computer, analysis of implosion results.
Working. Analysis indicates temporal discontinuity caused by implosion.
My calculations predicted this possibility, but not at this magnitude.
Just tell us what it means, Spock.
It means, Doctor, that we are still trapped. But instead of hours, we now have only 32 minutes before our shields collapse.
Sulu to McCoy! Emergency!
Captain's log. Supplemental. With drug therapy no longer an option to jog Sulu's memory, and our time drastically reduced by the implosion attempt, our options are closing about us, just as the field is closing about the Enterprise.
It's nothing really. I was just dizzy for a moment.
She's all right now, near as I can determine.
Miss Sulu's molecular structure is indeed linked to the exterior hyperfield. If we fail to find a way to fully extricate her before risking another implosion attempt...
Another implosion's not an option. And without the navigational coordinates...
Gentlemen, I suggest you come up with something original, because we're not going to just count down the minutes until the ship is destroyed.
Captain, if Mr. Scott can lock in on the coordinates of Caliban, it might be feasible to beam the entire ship's company there. It wouldn't help the ship, but...
It would save the crew.
We'd be marooned there.
But alive.
And all in all, it's not that bad a life.
But if we lower the shields...
That might not be necessary, given the higher dimensions involved.
Mr. Scott.
Aye, Captain.
Dr. McCoy, if I may examine the data on your tricorder.
Be my guest.
How are you feeling?
Like a fool.
So tell me back home, how are you set up for house guests? Kirk here.
Captain, can you get up here? There's no way to duplicate the energy wave that sent Sulu to Caliban. It was a 1 in a million freak accident.
None of us can beam there.
But I happened upon something else. Sulu's original transporter pattern. The temporal field should have kept it intact.
Are you saying we might be able to reintegrate him?
As he was when we beamed him off the bird of prey. It's possible. Theoretically, at least.
25 minutes to shield failure.
Get him up here. It should be possible to reverse the aging process by passing your current incarnation through the pattern buffer, restoring in effect your last saved state.
Yes, I see.
I don't understand. You mean you'd be giving him back 30 years?
No. We'd be taking them away.
I'd revert to the man I was before your mother and I were transported. As far as I'd be concerned, the life we spent there would never have happened.
But the Romulan navigational data will be fresh in your mind, and you should be able to use it to pilot us to safety.
The memories would be gone. I wouldn't know you.
20 minutes to shield failure.
You can't get rid of me that easily. I'd be here to remind you of every stubborn, mule-headed thing you ever did.
If it's the only way to...
Captain.
I'm sorry, Jim.
Alana? I thought the only danger was the implosion.
I've been reviewing Dr. McCoy's medical data, along with both my own scans of Miss Sulu and the exterior hyperfield.
They best be getting a move on. I have no mind to be trading my uniform for a white robe at this late date.
I checked her medical readings. There's no doubt, Jim. Do we tell her?
We tell them both.
"15 minutes to shield failure."
Captain, what is it?
Your atoms, your molecules, everything that is you is still tied to Caliban through the hyperfield. It's why you blacked out.
And should we succeed shortly in freeing ourselves, the interference caused by our warp engines will result in the field collapsing, destroying everything still linked to it.
My God, do you know what you're saying?
Yes.
You've got to beam her fully onto the Enterprise. Now!
Not possible. She is one with the universe that spawned her.
Then can you bring me back?
No. But were the ship to fail to extricate itself, there is a 92.3% probability the field would survive, and you would be returned to Caliban.
She could live.
But 430 others will die.
There has to be another way.
I can't tell you what to do.
But you alone know the navigational coordinates, and have the piloting skill necessary to save the ship.
I don't care who dies. She lives. Not this time, Mr. Spock.
Father! I can't let you do this!
Alana.
Even if Mr. Spock is right and I survive, what kind of life would that be? How can I go back to that empty world? How can I live knowing that you, or that all of you died because of me? I don't know if there's an afterlife. I don't know where we go when we die. But a father, it's not how long we live. It's how we live that matters. Let my life mean something.
Energize.
Our rebels now are ended. And these our actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits that are melted into air. Into thin air. We are such stuff.
As dreams are made of.
He's in massive shock.
We need him on the bridge. What can you give him?
2 cc's of cortisone. Any more will kill him.
Get him to his station, fast.
Jim. In a minute.
My father told me you were impressive.
Alana,
Your ship needs you.
Is there anything that you'd like?
Minutes to shield failure.
How young he is. How handsome.
Hyperdimensional coordinates, enter.
Artificial gravity compromised.
Life support systems on reserve power.
Acknowledged.
1 minute to shield failure. Seconds to shield failure. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Warp drive engaged. Hold on!
We're free!
As you were. How are you feeling?
A little rough around the edges. Captain, I'm told I attacked you. Tried to harm you.
There were extenuating circumstances.
I've watched this. It's like it's happening to another person. Alana? My daughter. The life I had. There's nothing.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Did you get to know her?
Yes. She
was unique. She lived her life fully in the time she had and gave it up for love.
What better epitaph could anyone ask for?
Oh God. If I could only remember.
Mr. Sulu, when I attempted to extricate the data from your mind, when our thoughts were joined, I lived those years with you.
What are you saying?
They can be yours again. But with the memories would come the grief. Very well.
Captain? Captain Sulu?
Yes, Ensign.
Your guests have disembarked from the shuttle, Captain.
Escort them to my ready room.
Aye, sir.
Ran, you have the car.
Aye, Captain. Captain,
Yes.
you're a very lucky man.
We're such stuff as dreams are made on.
And our little life is rounded with a sleep.
Talking to yourself, Father? I'd better keep a closer eye on you.
Demora.
Say hello to your granddaughter.
So beautiful. The whole universe is ahead of you.
And I did as you asked. With her name. But I don't understand. Who's Alana?
You had a sister.